And the first one is to take a step back and try to understand the gatekeeper, as you've seen with just about all the chapters of the Smart Sales System. When we're talking about a different area, the first step is to take a step back and try to understand the other person that you're either trying to deal with, trying to sell to, trying to deal with an objection from. The first thing to understand about gatekeepers is that in the same way that if you're a salesperson, you've been given a quota, you maybe been assigned the task of getting into and selling to particular accounts or into a territory. And so it's your goal to get into an account. And in the same way that you have that goal, many situations, a gatekeeper has the exact same goal. Actually, let me back up, has the exact opposite goal, which is to keep you out. And said another way is their goal is to keep salespeople out. The people that are behind them, that they are playing the role of gatekeeper for, might most likely do not want to be bothered or deal with cold calls from salespeople that are trying to sell something. So they will instruct that gatekeeper to screen calls. And if it's a salesperson trying to sell something, they will be instructed to get rid of that salesperson. And in the same way that you might go through training, such as training like this, to get into new accounts, to cold call, to deal with objections, gatekeepers are often trained on how to identify which calls are coming from salespeople and how to get rid of them. It's not as complex of training as you might go through in terms of sales training, but they're definitely given instructions on this is what salespeople look like. These are ways to get them to self-identify themselves. For example, gatekeepers will be taught, hey, when you think it's a salesperson, ask them what the call is in regards to. Most likely what they say will allow you to identify that it's a salesperson. When you do identify it as a salesperson, do not let them in. Get rid of them. Not only are they instructed to get rid of salespeople, but you could kind of look at it as though they're going to look bad when a salesperson slips past them. So if somehow they aren't able to identify that someone is a product-pushing, annoying, pesky salesperson, and that person slips past them and gets to someone in the organization, say a decision maker, and ends up on the phone with that person, the gatekeeper can look bad. Either look bad in terms of reputation or job performance or be reprimanded. It's their job to keep you out. And so when you add up all those factors, the gatekeeper naturally takes the adversarial role to a salesperson. You're trying to get in, they're trying to keep you out. So this immediately creates a level of conflict. In most scenarios, if you're successful, then they are being unsuccessful. And when they're successful, you're not being successful. So this is really important for you to understand. The other thing is that most likely a lot of gatekeepers that you're dealing with, their job is not really rewarding and a lot of fun, and it could be really hectic. You know, a gatekeeper might be a receptionist, and they're dealing with a lot of different incoming that they have to juggle and deal with. The phone's ringing, deliveries are being delivered, guests are needing to be checked in, questions are being asked. It's just nonstop. And while you may enjoy selling, most salespeople enjoy selling, and you might enjoy closing deals and making money, often gatekeepers don't have that level of satisfaction in their job. This may come through when you have to deal with them. So not only are they doing everything they can to keep you out, they just might not be a bundle of fun to deal with day in and day out. So these are just some things that you might agree with some of them, you may disagree with some of them, but the goal here is try to understand the person that you're dealing with